Jesus, it's been a painful day, hasn't it? Right, guys, my name's Liam. I am one of the Hustle Brothers. I'm here with my good friend, Christopher Bell. You are here for Rocket Lab Fan Club. Chris, 9% down, 1% down after hours. Painful. We will discuss it. Guys, do not panic. Let's have some fun today. Let's relax. Let's discuss exactly what's happening. Where do we see it going? What sort of direction is the market taking at the moment? Why we think this sell-off's happening at the moment? Is it going to recover? Chris, my guy, it's a hard day, but how are you getting on, my guy?
We're going to zero, man. We're going to zero. Stocks suck. Stocks are a scam. We're all going to zero. Like Maddie says all the time, we're going, no, just kidding. Even my frogs, I don't know if you guys can hear the frogs. If you can, I apologize, but even they're mad. They're not having a good day. They're over there croaking away. But no, we are here to have fun as always. And I think this is a great opportunity, especially if you're a new investor, especially if you just got in like the last 2 or 3 months and you bought and everything's just going up, and you're like, wow, this is easy. And then you run into the day and you're like, whoa, this is not easy. um, but that's where, conviction pays and research means everything. Research means everything. But we'll get into that, guys. No reason to panic. I don't see any reason to panic. Nothing changes in one day like that. I mean, unless we're hitting World War III, which we're not, no reason to panic.
Guys, I can't actually believe it. Chat's starting to, or not chat, viewers are starting to build up at the moment. I actually said that to Chris. Normally on red days, we don't normally get as many viewers. And it's normally because everyone believes they are Warren Buffett when we are going green. When we're going red, no one likes losing money, and we like to be like an ostrich and stick our head in the sand. So I'm happy to see quite a few of you here today. Guys, really, do not panic. I do feel like we have quite an inkling what's going on at the moment. But I will get into some of the figures right now. Guys, do jump into the comments right now and let me know how much are you down today. Me and Chris are discussing it before the stream, and yeah, it's just a painful day all around. But jumping.
What were we down today? What was the percentage we were down today in a day? Was it around 9%, or is it? Am I close?
Yeah.
I didn't look. Yeah, around 9. Okay.
So,
Ooh, buddy, that's rough. That's rough. I had a friend of mine, new friend, new investor. Um, he's wanting to get into Rocket Lab, and he messaged me today and said, "Hey, today's a great day to probably get in." I said, "Yeah, today's a great day to get in." And this is like around, I think about 11:30. And he said, "Hey, look, I should probably buy, right?" No, nope. It's going to continue to go down for today. I'm not saying long term. I'm just saying we were talking about today. And I think we were around 7% down at that time. Um, but I like to see people, especially new investors, getting excited about the stock for good reason. Nothing about the company's changed. Still the same company as it was yesterday, last week. Still a lot of great catalysts coming up. We've got another launch coming up very soon that was announced. I think we covered that a little bit last night. Um, Even with Redwire, you guys know we were buying around 18 and some change. Bought again around 15, and now we're down like 8 something. I haven't checked it. I don't want to look at it. I don't even want to look. But I haven't lost my conviction. I really haven't. I think today's gonna be fun, be very entertaining and very educational, especially if you're a new investor. This is the perfect place to be, in my opinion.
yeah, speaking about Redwire, I'm 42% down. I'm really left holding the bag in the moment. It was meant to be. I do have a long-term position, but me and Francisco had a trading position on Redwire, and we were using it to create more capital for Rocket Lab, and yet caught the pants down, 42% down, and yet feeling every bit of it. But going back to Rocket Lab, we are 9% down of the day. We are pushing again after hours down to 40.33. That's another 1.4% down. Looking over the 5 days, we are down 5.78%, and then over the month, we're down 20.37%. Guys, look at it over the 6 months. We are up 57.81%, and again, year to date is 60%. That's 6 years in the S&P, my guys. And then over the 1 year, it's 469%. this is not significant. But yeah, I want to talk about Redwire as well. So again, 2.21%, and we're quite flat after hours. Another 6% over the 5 days, and 54.46% over the month. 6 months, 59%, and year to date, 46%. Redwire's not having a great year at all. But looking across the whole macro market, we did see the S&P pull back by 0.55%. And guys, look, we are in August. August is renowned for their pullbacks. We have the likes of the hedge funds going on holiday. They're not trading as much. You're looking at the volume. There's not as much volume through the market. I honestly do believe you're just going to get a market-wide pullback over the next few weeks coming in towards October time. But our good friend Chimp Capital did put up something today, and I do really have to highlight this. Chimp Capital is not bearish whatsoever. I actually do follow quite a bit of his technical analysis. He has been right all the way through these recent run-ups, but with a bit of, I don't know, regret, he does have to inform us that his chart analysis at the moment is seeing a clear break over under the 30-day moving average, and we may be in a downtrend for the next 6 weeks, which we have said around October time, I would believe. He's aiming for around low 30s as a possibility, but he does think we are going to rip towards the end of the year. Again, as we said, October, November, December, reaching $80 to $100. We do have the catalyst of Neutron. We have the likes of the Golden Dome being announced coming up to then. And then we have spoken about the likes of helium-3 yesterday. Yes, that is a long-term goal. We think the moon is going to be a long-term goal. But tying in all this together, the likes of the Mars telecommunication orbiter, we do have the Explorer photon bus. We can get all throughout the solar system. I honestly believe this is very, very bad news for short-term traders. But for long-term investors, this is the perfect opportunity. You're able to load up. Now, whatever you do, we're over the back, so I'm allowed to say this now. Do not blow your load too early. Do not just jump in tomorrow and all cash available for into RKLB, because I could see a little bit more of a pullback occurring. Again, DCA in. None of us can predict what is going to happen. Look, Chimp has been right the majority of this run up. However, I'd say himself would say he wouldn't be comfortable selling out tomorrow and then waiting for the low 30s. We always assume the best case scenario in the run-ups and the worst case scenario in the pullbacks. The likes of technical analysis are only statistical probabilities, they're guidelines.
Exactly.
I don't follow them by the book.
What do we see a lot though? We see this a lot, especially with new investors. We get a pullback like this, and they do exactly what you say. They get nervous, they sell out. Either they take a loss, they take some profits, and they're listening to everything from MSNBC and all the analysts and all the people that you guys know that I love. And then something happens that you didn't see. We're just talking about charts and analysis, but there's so many other variables. Something can pop up in the news. We have while it's the ribbon cutting ceremony coming up, we have another launch coming up. We're still waiting on Golden Dome contracts to be announced. We don't know when that's going to happen. So it wouldn't be surprising if, you sell out today, you take your profits or you take your little bit of a loss, and then 3 or 4 days from now, something get announced and it skyrockets back up. And now you're buying back in at a lot higher price. We always say this every live stream: do your own research. Make sure that you're convicted about a company before you even buy. You spend the first dollar on them, and always ask you the question of why. Why am I buying this company in the first place? It is your money, and that money should be making you money, not losing you money, but you got to be smart about it. I would love, 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 no offense to you guys out there. I know you're going to hate hearing this, but if the thing drops down to, I think the next resistance level, talking about charts, is just above 39. We break through that, we can go all the way down to mid 30s, maybe even low 30s. I would love that personally because I'm greedy and I want more Rocket Lab at a lower cost. Because this may be, and don't take my word for it, but if things line up like we see them lining up going into the end of the year, this may be one of the last buying opportunities you get at Rocket Lab at these prices. If Neutron is successful and things move forward, you look back at this and go, "Wow, I really wish I had more cash on the sidelines. I could have bought more." Then, not financial advice. I just seen it happen time and time and time again. I'm guilty. I've done that exact same thing. I know Liam's probably done it. We all have. Um, yeah, never financial advice, but always, take the lessons from people that learn the hard way. And trust me, I've learned the hard way.
And then, guys, do help us out today. I have discovered something. Each like helps share us to 10 more people on YouTube. So do smash the like button, because the more people we get shown out to, the bigger it gets. Bigger it gets, more people that see Rocket Lab, more people that are educated on Rocket Lab. Hopefully, we get more bulls into Rocket Lab. But that's just me saying that. No,
we also get people like Chip Campbell. We also get more friends like Chip, and we get more people getting involved with us, and we get that great information from people like that. People like Scott O, people like Maddie. It does help not just us and our algorithms and our numbers. It helps everyone because we get introduced to more of those people, and we can bring those people on live. We're not the experts. We bring on the experts. And so it's a win-win for everybody. So yeah, guys, thanks again for all the support. We do it for fun. We're not out here trying to make $1 million out of. I'm not making $1 off this. To be honest with you, it'd be great if I was, but that's not what we're doing it. In some ways, I don't know if it would be as fun if we did have it to a point where we had 20, 30,000 followers, and then we kind of lose out on what's made this channel so great. Keeping it personal, keeping it one-on-one, being able to get active and involved in the chats, which, as you guys always know, is one of my favorite parts, is getting feedback from you guys, whether it's good or bad. But yeah, Liam, you're right, man. August is traditionally a down month, which sucks because it's my birthday month. So I guess it's the bell curse. I don't know if you want to call it that. Not my fault, but it does seem to happen. I don't think there's much to freak out about. Go back, and look what the company that you're investing in, are they still executing on their plans long term? Are they still hitting those marks going forward? Those are the kind of things you want to be looking at. Is there a big reason? Do they, it was across the market. It wasn't like just Rocket Lab just had something blow up on the pad and they went down. Everyone across the market is red today, for the most part. So yeah, I used to get nervous. I didn't know what I was doing. I'd sell, take a loss like an idiot. Then you got to wait 31 days to buy back in and all that kind of crap. No, do your research, understand why you have the convictions, and don't be afraid to ask questions. That's what we're here for. If we can't answer them, we have people that can. We do have the people that can. So thanks again to everybody in the chats, and thanks again to those guys that do come on and help us out. We couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, and guys, there are a few rumors going around X at the moment. I don't really see any material to it. Some guys are saying that the reason Rocket Lab is shooting so far down today is because of positive relations with Russia and the US government at the moment. Look, Rocket Lab is not a defensive only company. Golden Dome's happening anyway. So if anything, positive relations with Russia is going to push the market up even higher. So I wouldn't fall into that trap that, look, if there's a ceasefire and that the war ends, that Rocket Lab will collapse. I don't believe that at all. But I have seen quite a few posts going around, and it did make me laugh a little bit. Now, look, I could be completely wrong, and guys, do let me know in the comments if you disagree with me. But jumping across to the comments, we have Dia says, simple retrace, all. We are all gravy, baby. Bag of Holding, big shout out, Mike. I haven't seen you in a while because I have not been streaming. So big shout out to you. Happy with 40. Have you jumped into Rocket Lab? No, Bag. Vassian C. I still have to watch the moon, my guy. So I did see your comment on X yesterday, but I will watch it. Everyone is rushing to security. I liquidated all Rocket Lab and invested in a safer asset, Fortcoin.
He's brilliant. He is brilliant. Also, Vass, thanks for sending me the message. Always love getting learning, and that's what you guys do, man. You teach me small little details, but I really appreciate the message I saw this morning. Thanks, brother. Thanks.
Then we have Captain Vesta. Big shout out, my guy. Week seasonality will send us to $30, but end of year, $80. So no big deal if you hold longer than 2 months. And I do have a few articles coming out as to why I do believe we're going to push to $80. Look, I could even see that $100 range being hit with good macro conditions occurring, but we will discuss that a little bit later.
Yeah, I've got one for that too. I got one for that too. So yeah, I can't wait for that part.
Bag says 40 is good for me. It's way up since you talked me into getting it, and I sold all new scale to get it. I didn't even know it was almost 50. I never checked it like I do eVTOLs all the time. Bag, this is one investment that both myself and yourself agree on. I bet you're happy now you jumped into Rocket Lab. We will get you in the VTOLs one day. I know it, my guy. Dieter says statistically August is a slow month. Yeah, honestly, it is. Like, a lot of them hedge funds do go on vacation around this time of year. You do see a lot lower volume occurring. And I hate to say it, but I feel like retail seem to steer the market a little bit more. And when you let dumb money move a market, it always ends badly because you get extreme greed and then you get the big collapse. Dieter says great. Captain Vesta, I'll load up in the 30s. Exactly. I wouldn't blow the load too early up at this range, but at the same time, I would DCA in because there's no guarantee we are going to go right down into the 30s. I do think we will, though. Dieter says exactly. I can't pronounce that. Touche, is it? Vaccine C. I'm holding my drones, my space positions, and Kratos because I don't know what effing bucket to put it in. No, do you know what? You have been mad. Vast, wasn't it you that was in rare earth materials? What did you think of the helium-free talk we done yesterday? I do need to drop a video on that as a more condensed form. I might do a few highlights of all of us speaking during that, and we can add a little bit more to it. But do let me know what you think about helium-free. Guys, do you think helium-free is a good missing piece to the puzzle? Do let us know. And again, because we're growing, guys, each like does help share us out to 10 more people. You didn't believe me? Look how much people are watching now. Let's make it happen together. Do smash that like button. More people that get shown Rocket Lab, hopefully, the more people that invest in it.
Where'd you go, Liam? Where did you go, buddy? This happened just before we went live. It happened yesterday as well. He's been having issues with his camera and his link. So I'm sure he'll jump back on here. This is always fun when I'm by myself. I think he's getting back on here. Jacob Dillon. Hey, I can actually. Wow, I can't believe I can see that. I can't see the last name. Jacob, I can barely see. I'm on my phone, so I can never really see the chats. So guys in the chats, I do apologize. If there's one or two words, I can pretty much see it. I'm getting old. I probably should have my glasses on, but even with my glasses, I can't see it. So my phone is very small. It's like very minute. And we'll give Liam a minute or two here to try and get back on. But I do want to get back while he's gone, and we were talking about end of year pricing and where we're at right now. And we have people that they'll be super bearish, they'll be super bullish, and those are the ones you want to stay at, away from. You kind of want to be right in the middle. And I remember last year when Rocket Lab was below $6-7, and people were asking, "Hey, where do you think it's going to be at by the end of the year?" And I said, "We're going to be at $8 or above, $8 or above." And that sounds crazy. I mean, like $8, that's not a lot, but Rocket Lab was not moving. It was stuck at 4, below 4. It ran sideways, and then by end of year, well, we were above 8, and I looked pretty smart at the time. I wasn't guessing. I was not guessing on that. I was strong in my convictions. I was doing my research, and you can't do anything about how the markets react to things. You can't change how Wall Street is. You can't change how the retail investors are going to do things. What you do have control over is your own research, your own time you put into it. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. And we give recommendations on people who you should be following and getting advice from. Everybody that's in the chats, if you're not following the other person in the chat, I'd advise to follow everybody that's in the chats now. You guys are brilliant. When it comes to end of year price target, that $80 to $100 range, yes, 100%. As long as we have no issues with Neutron. As a matter of fact, if Neutron actually is successful, at $80 and $100 should be pretty darn easy. I mean, we ran up really quick. We did get above 50. I think it was 52, 53. I don't remember the all-time high. I do know there's one or two of you out there that said, "I'm going to come on live and show my face once we get to a certain point." I'm not going to name names, but starts with space, and we'll just leave it at that. But I would love to hear you guys, let me know what your thoughts are. If it's going to be, "Hey, we're going all the way back down to 20 and Rocket Lab sucks and I'm getting out of it," or, are you like me? Do you, and like a lot of the guys in the chat said, you think we're going to get to 80, 100? And what are you investing for? You got to ask yourself that. Is this going to be a short-term, hold for you? If it is, Rocket Lab is not the company to do that with. Not financial advice, but just from my own personal history, it's not something I would want to try and invest in for a short amount of time, especially in these markets. But long-term, this is a blip on the radar. You're going to look back on this in 3 to 5 years and go, "Yeah, that was a huge opportunity that I probably missed out on. I could have loaded the bag, loaded the boat, added more to it." That's what I would be probably doing over the next couple of days personally, because I do see it as a gift. And if we are on point with Neutron, this could be the last time we see prices like this. And that's, again, not financial advice, but I would hate to be that guy that thinks that it's going to keep on going on down to 20 or whatever. That's ridiculous. And to whoever was out there saying that we're gonna tank because of the Ukraine Russia thing or whatever, you're an idiot. I'll call you right now. You're an idiot. That's like saying that after World War II that we just decided to take out all of our battleships and all of our planes and just decommission everything because we don't need it anymore. That's stupid. There's always going to be a need for defense. I want world peace, but that's not the reality. Reality is we need these things. We're overdue for these things, and we're not the only country looking into something like this. Other countries are wanting to get involved with the Golden Dome project. I think a lot of people are missing out on the opportunity and how massive the Golden Dome project is going to be, not just for Rocket Lab, but for companies like SpaceX and Redwire, Palantir. I think Palantir is going to profit greatly off of some of these contracts. But it looks like we got Liam back. He picked himself up after he tripped over whatever he tripped over. He might have cows in the house running around. I don't know, but glad you made it back, because you know what it's like when you got your partner there and you're talking and all of a sudden you're by yourself.
It's a killer.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much for holding the ship there. Not gonna lie, since I came back, whatever's wrong with that whole setup, and then all of a sudden the camera fell down. Do you know what? It is what it is. But Chris, thank you so much for taking over there. getting back to the comments, we have Jacob says, "Hey Chris." Man says, "Hey," and then Capital Investor says, "I'm going to make 1 million." Do you know what I think? Oh, not I think. I hope most of us here in this stream will be multimillionaires due to Rocket Lab.
I hope you all are, because I've got ponds to sell and waterfalls to sell. So as all of you hit that $1 million mark, make sure you hit me up. I'll fly out. I might not make it to 1 million, but I'll make some money after you guys do, and you won't miss it. It's not a whole lot, you know, it's 10, 20 grand, no big deal after you get to 1 million. But no, we are definitely cheering you guys all on. I want you all to be successful. I do hope that some of my ridiculous, idiotic rants actually help you guys. That is what we're here for. But yeah, thanks. Keep it going, Liam. This has been fun.
Guys, I have got an update from Chimp Capital. I was overextending there, saying it will pull back until October. Chimp Capital believes it will be mid-September. Guys, do make sure you follow him on X. He has been incredibly accurate over the past, mate. It has to be at least a year or so.
Yeah, he's on it.
Been following him anyway. So do follow him at chimp_capital on X. But Vaccine C says all these growth stocks are lines in an index that gets chunked and chopped without regard to the details we dig into. Vaccine C says,
yeah,
that's the only alpha retail gets, conviction on the edges and attention to details. And that's the thing, especially in the non-profitable companies, we're able to bite it a lot quicker than a lot of the institutes. The Bag of Holding says he does invest in eVTOL sometimes. Not for the right reasons, though, Bag of Holding. Chris, are you in Virginia? I believe Chris is in Virginia. What part of Virginia are you in, Chris?
I'm in a very small town called Matthews. I'm on the East Coast. A lot of people don't know where it's at. I'm about hour outside of Williamsburg, hour south of Richmond, hour and a half north of Virginia Beach. There's actually quite a few people investing in Rocket Lab right here in Virginia, which makes sense. You know, we got Wallops, and we are planning on not just a Neutron party, but we are planning on a few other meetups out there at Wallops. So, bro, if you're out here and you want to get in on some of these meetups and just hang out and you know, talk stocks, eat some good food. I love barbecue. I got a great spot out on the Eastern Shore that's going to cater the party. But yeah, be fun to have you, man. Be fun to have you out.
Then Bag of Holding says a new Redwire was bunk when Hudson Brothers first mentioned them, and I discovered they spent more money than they have on an irrelevant company owned by the major investor. Bag of Holding, I remember you mentioning that before. Would you send me a link for that? VCNC said, I had a H3 bought at the close of last stream, but y'all were signing off. If you think about logistics, SpaceX innovated by landing and reusing their rockets. The next level is not landing empty. If Neutron can send up payloads and land with H3, that dog runs.
He's right. He's right. And that's, I'm so glad you brought that up. That was something that, so yesterday, you guys know, if you were in, we were talking about Helium-3. The night before, if you guys don't follow Johnny Mac on X, follow Johnny Mac. I'm in a small group, just 2 or 3 of us in there. He brought it up, and we brought up that exact same. That is brilliant because we talked about that, and it's a large subject. There's a lot to cover. We're going to get more into that going into the future. We were going to do more today, but of course, when you get a day like today and the markets tank and it go red, people start freaking out. We thought it was kind of important to come on here, kind of calm down some people. I mean, most of you guys are old school investors. You know, you don't need to hear us say, hey, you know, this is normal. You already know it's normal. But again, this channel is for everyone, but we do try to cater to the newer investors. And if you are a new investor, you know, again, don't freak out. But we are going to get more into that, and that is a brilliant comment and great insight, because that's very true. I think Liam actually did some numbers on a napkin, nothing to hold him to, but we were looking at some of the numbers on the possibilities of not just taking payload out into space, but actually bringing back those payloads, and the amount of money. I didn't even believe it. I mean, I had to do the math myself, and you guys know I hate the numbers, and it just blew me away. We're not talking about possibility of $500 or $800 million company anymore. 5 or 10 years from now, we're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar company in 5 to 10 years. Big, massive jump. The potential is massive. The amount of money, the revenue is absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah, I'll do a quick elevator pitch for anyone that didn't see our stream last night. So helium-3 basically is the fuel source the sun uses. It's a lot more safe of a nuclear component. It contains 1 neutron, 2 protons, in comparison to your normal helium that contains 2 protons, 2 neutrons. During fusion, what it does is it discharges less positively charged neutrons or something like that. I really have to dive into it, but it's a lot safer of a fuel to use for nuclear reaction. Now, it is an extremely rare material. This is more valuable than gold. It's discharged from the sun and comes across in solar wind. The Earth doesn't have that much of it just because our atmosphere completely disperses it. But the moon, I'm not going to say is proficient in it. It's still ultra dilute. I think it's 20 parts per billion in the lunar soil, but it's still a lot more saturated than the likes of Earth. Now,
there's a video that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I don't know. I can't remember. Did we actually show or share the video, the Sean Ryan video that we were watching that we got us really hyped about the whole helium-3? I don't know if you can share it. If not, if you guys know Sean Ryan or you follow his podcast, if we can't get it on here, then either me or Liam will share it on X when we get off of here. Highly recommend watching this video. It will absolutely, bro. I mean, you will watch this and then you'll turn around and watch it again immediately. There's so much information. You can take pages and pages of notes and still not hit on everything. And he was talking to a retired general that definitely knows his stuff. And he has a company that he's putting together that's going to be doing a lot of things that we're talking about. And he does mention Rocket Lab specifically in detail. The guy knows what he's talking about. And yeah, I would highly recommend going to watch that, because when it comes to the future of space, I mean, it's like going to church, man. The guy was straight preaching, and I loved every minute of it. I've watched it 3 times now, and every time I've watched it, I picked up on something that I didn't catch the first time. So yeah, if we can't share it here, no big deal. Catch us on X as soon as we get off. I'll be reposting, and Liam will be reposting. Highly recommend. And it'll go into a lot better detail, explain it a lot better than us idiots can do. But it's not something you want to miss. If you're investing in space, it is not a video you want to miss out on.
No, I probably won't share it on this because I reckon I'll lose my own camera if I do. But yeah, we will share it on X. But then jumping down into a few of the numbers. So I started looking into how much for payload Neutron. Look, we know Neutron can lift between 13 to 15 tons to the likes of low Earth orbit, but to translunar orbit, you're looking at about 2 tons. So then it sort of made me look into, okay, now, any of you chemists or physicists out there, I'm going to explain this in layman's terms, and then I'm going to go back on it. So it did make me think, okay, so how much is 1 ton of helium-3 worth. So on Earth here today, helium-3 is worth between 10 to 15 billion, not million, billion per ton. 2 tons of that on a Neutron would be what, 20 to 30 billion payload coming back to Earth. Look, that is not profit margin. This is not just going to be run by Rocket Lab. You're going to need a vast amount of companies on board for this. You're going to need extreme US government backing for the likes of this. You do need to heat the soil up 700 to 900 degrees Celsius. You can convert that to Fahrenheit. I work in Celsius. Yeah, it's 20 parts per billion. So the amount of tons of lunar soil you need to excavate and then heat up just to release the gases and then capture the gases and put it back on, it is going to be a massive, massive project. But look, this is a rare material. It can also be used in propulsion. It's very, very abundant on Mars as well. So if we can prove the concept on the moon, Mars has a thinner atmosphere than Earth. You do have the likes of helium-3, so you'll have nuclear reactors on Mars as well. But you know who
this isn't far-fetched. I didn't mean to cut you off. This isn't us thinking like some crazy conspiracy. They're already working on this. China is actually ahead of us on this. So I just wanted to say that really quick because I know sometimes we say some crazy stuff on here and you're like, oh, Chris is just crazy again. No, this is not something that's 20 years away. They're already working on this. Sorry, Liam, didn't mean to cut you off, but for you guys in the chats, I just wanted to clarify the fact that we didn't just dream this up yesterday or the day before. We are behind on this. This is information that, especially as space investors, this is something we should not have missed out on. I'm guilty. I missed out on it. We've all missed out on it. I would, again, check that video out, do some research, get back to us and whatever you find, because it's new. And there's a lot more to go over. But yeah, sorry, Liam, just had to throw that in there.
No, you're all good. So then, it's even more abundant at the gas giants, so the likes of Saturn, Jupiter, and Uranus. You then have the moons like your Titan, your Europa, around these that also have helium-3. So that way you can have a vast network around the solar system. We were speaking before about the Mars telecommunication orbiter, how it's not just going to be a telecommunication orbiter, it's a proof of concept. You can have them again in Venus, and then you can go across the solar system. But then what's stopping you having the likes of your Explorer photon bus going out, retrieving the helium-3? Then you think I'm completely mad, but this got shared today by Space News. Now I'm hopefully not going to lose my screen when I share this. There is a conference happening on August 28th, and for more than 60 years the US has pursued nuclear power in space, seen by many as critical for lunar operations, Mars missions, and cislunar security. But despite advances, challenges remain. They are going to speak about this. We have the likes of Jeff Frost. I don't want to disrespect this woman by pronouncing her name wrong, but we have the likes of Fred Kennedy as well. Guys, do you believe in the helium-3 concept? We were talking about space-based solar. We were talking about data centers in space. We're talking about beaming solar power back down to Earth. Why do we always think about solar power? Why don't we think about, look, helium-3 is a lot less radioactive than what we use here on Earth today. There's a lot less nuclear waste out of this. 1 ton of this is something like 170 million tons of coal worth of power.
Yeah, which is crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And think about this. we already know that they're planning on going to the moon and mining for rare earth minerals. Well, they're going to have to make money, right? They're going to have to make a lot of money to justify all this. There's not, I mean, so I guess my basic question would be, especially you guys in the chats, maybe you guys know more about this than we do. Again, like I said, this is news to us. It's kind of new. We're just getting into it. What other rare earth minerals are up there that have the value of this that would make it worth, companies like a SpaceX to get contracts from the U.S. government to go up there and start mining on the moon? Have you even asked yourself the question of what are we even mining? I never did. I just said, cool, we're mining on the moon. In the video, the guy talks about not just the moon, but asteroids, mining asteroids. And as I know, it sounds like something only Hollywood would talk about, but something I've always told my kids: if you see it in the movies, they've already thought about it. They're already probably doing it. They're just not announcing it. So yeah, I'd like to get some feedback in the chat. If there's some other rare earth mineral you guys see up there that has a similar value or higher value, I'd love to hear. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I want to know about it because this opened up some new doors to me and made me realize that as much research as I do, I'm still missing a lot of research I need to get into. So please do me the favor. Send an info, message me, whether it's on here or on X. Love to hear from it.
And then Francisco, our friend, actually shared something today that makes me want to double down on this whole helium-3 thing. So we had Sean Duffy come out and say we won the first space race. We're going to win today's space race and tomorrow's space race. We do know China's ahead in the likes of space-based mining. I honestly do believe Duffy believes in himself that we are going to beat China back to the moon. Guys, if you haven't seen it, do check out Francisco's X. He has now crossed 3,000 followers. So big shout out to Francisco.
Oh, that was a clip. That was a clip from that video I was talking about. So yeah, check out Francisco, check out that clip, and then just follow that clip to the entire, trust me, watch the whole thing. It's long, I know, but if you're a space geek like we are, it seems like it goes by in 15 minutes, but it's a couple hours. But get your thinking caps on. There's a lot of info. I mean, it's so much that you got to watch it 2 or 3 times.
Guys, do make sure to hit the subscribe button. That way you can comment and help steer our stream. And if you have subscribed, again, hit the like button because we get shared out to more people. Do you know what? I'm not even going to say I'm not plugging my stream tonight because you know what? We need to grow this brand. We do need to get more and more heads in thinking about RKLB. But Golden says, I don't remember what I said about Redwire either. It should be on the first few videos about them. They bought a drone company. Oh, that was Edge Autonomy. I don't think Edge Autonomy was a bad acquisition. I was actually quite bullish on Edge. Do let me know why you think that was a bad acquisition. 5 to 10 trillion would be the biggest company in the world, bro. But companies are growing.
Yeah, I'm crazy, dude. I'm crazy. I'm not sure how new you are here, but we all in the chats know that Chris is crazy. I'm the crazy guy that said that on live in January on the weekly Wednesday, I said that haste would be worldwide, and they all said I was crazy. Well, crazy like a freaking fox. Yeah, I know it sounds insane, but space is massive, and space is going to be an insane amount of money when it comes to the markets.
Chris,
and if I'm wrong, I'm
make
wrong.
out
But
of us as well when we're on about space-based solar and when we're on about what am I trying to say? Space data centers as well. Now
Oh
people are
yeah, and the
starting to
gas
come around the
stations in
world
space
thinking.
and storing. Yeah, we were crazy about that. Well, it's happening. So I like being crazy and being and told that I'm thinking too far outside the box. But guys, that's what we do here. I don't claim to be right all the time. And again, it's not investment advice. The whole goal here a lot is to get you guys excited and to get you thinking outside the box and thinking for yourselves and doing your own research. Because again, it's another reason why we're actually trying to push the stream. We normally never sit there and ask for the likes and stuff like that, but we have found that we do get more people involved. We get more people involved. We get more intelligent people like you guys. That one, make sure that we're staying in the lane. We're not going too crazy. Two, you bring in a lot of facts and you bring in a lot of intelligence and you help out the entire community. Because, like Liam said earlier, we want to see everyone succeed. We do. I'm not trying to take advantage of anyone. If you all, um, you know, do your part and do your little piece, and we all can profit from that, then great. That's a great thing. That's what we want. So yeah, don't take it too hard. And things that I say sometimes you're like, yeah, that's a bit far fetched. Well, that's what I do. That's kind of my job here. I'm not the numbers guy. We have guys for the numbers. I'm not the facts guy. Those things bore the hell out of me. We have the guys for that. I know that's again, that's why we say all the time it's not financial advice, but it is things to listen and learn from because that's what makes us stronger and smarter and oftentimes more profitable as a community. It takes a village. It's not just one of us contributing. Um, I'm in multiple different chat groups and I get stuff from all of you guys all the time. So always fact check me. Always tell me if I'm wrong. Liam will tell you when I'm wrong. I'll be the first person to admit, yep, I missed out. I screwed up. I was an idiot. But if me saying something like we're going to see a multi-trillion-dollar space company in the next 5 or 10 years, and you think that I'm out, I'm crazy, that's fair, more than fair. It's not to get anybody to go out and try and buy the stock because I own it or I don't own it. Um, it's to get you to think. It's to get you to really push yourself um, and look at things in a way that you may have never looked at them before in the past, and you might just find some things that, like we just did recently with the helium-3, that you never thought of before. And those could be the things that give you the leg up of the next investor, where you could be buying now at 30, 40, $50 instead of waiting until the news comes out in 2, 3 years, 5 years, and it's sitting and it skyrockets, and you're like, man, how did I miss this? Because we miss stuff all the time. I'd rather cover something and be wrong than just totally miss out on it and then just look back and go, man, I could have made a lot of money on this. So again, uh, always love the feedback and never take it for financial advice. Um, but always think outside the box with any stock, any stock.
And guys, when you're sitting there and you believe that you're only a small fish and you can't make a difference, honestly, you can. When you do hit the like button and you get 10 people to come in, say if then 10 people hit the like button, then there's 100 people generated from that one like. Look, we're coming here every single day. We'll be here every single day coming up with as much research as we can. But the more people we have in contact with us, the more elaborate the ideas. But at the same time, we will never bring nothing to a stream unless we have solid backing behind it. We won't just come up with something like, look, the moon's made of cheese. But there will always be breadcrumbs as to why we believe, and we'll always bring it to you. We didn't come up with helium-3 and just be like, right, this is what RKLB are doing. Yesterday, we brought you exactly why we believe helium-3 is beneficial, why we believe RKLB can do it, and who they can be partnering with, and what needs to occur for it to happen. So, for the last time today, make sure to bang the subscribe button, make sure to bang the like button. Now, getting back to the comments, Bag of Holden says they would need to refine it in ways that have not even been conceived. CNC says, good thing Duffy wants a nuclear reactor on the moon. Exactly, my guy. WW says, the only reason I'm not buying Rocket Lab right now is the possible Neutron delay announcement that will surely hit the stock. The other factors driving this correction have played out, I think. The only reason you're not buying it is because the possible Neutron delay. But we're getting closer and closer to that Neutron launch, and we're still getting communication from Rocket Lab that they are pushing for that line. So the longer you hold out without buying it, I think you're playing with fire, my guy. If you want to invest in Rocket Lab, I would be building my position. I wouldn't be worried about a delay. What are your thoughts on that, Chris?
We talked about this a few weeks ago. Actually, before that, I mentioned a possible delay, and I was saying it's going to be delayed a little bit because we all thought it was going to be into September, and I was thinking, maybe later, like November, December, and I got chewed up for that. Well, look what's happening. If it is delayed, a delay doesn't mean it's unsuccessful. Again, this is a long-term hold. For anybody investing in Rocket Lab, if you're only investing for the next 6 months, wrong company. No offense, wrong company to invest in, not for you. We're talking about long-term investing, long-term investors, minimum 5 years out. So if they are for some reason delayed until, let's say, middle of next year, well, I trust in what Peter Beck does. I trust in the company. I've done my research. They are great. They are some of the best at what they do. If they delay it, it's for good reason, not because they can't do it. I don't see a big delay. I think we're going to actually be on the pad this year. I don't see any cause for the delay. My biggest concern was a delay from day one. Francisco, Liam, anybody out there can tell you, my biggest concern was the engine, the Archimedes engine. Well, recently we've seen some new video, and that thing looks beautiful. I mean, I think they're, and even so, let me just say this really quick, and I'll get off this topic, but even if they are delayed 5 or 6 months, they are still going to be the fastest rocket from design to build to execution in the world, and done at the smallest budget ever been done with one of the most badass rockets we've ever seen. So if they need to delay it to ensure success as an investor, I'm happy. And if it does drop, then I'm just going to buy more. I mean, because again, I'm not holding it for 6 months and hoping to make some money off of that next 6 months. It's not the company for that. This is a long-term hold. This is something I'm going to hold on to as, maybe never sell and just pass it on down to my kids and my grandkids. It is a long-term investment. Space is massive. It's huge. It's not going nowhere. They're not going to stop building rockets. They're not going to stop exploring into space and building out and doing more into space. This is not going away. This is not a fad. This is not a meme. This is not something that you just get in and out of in a few weeks, like some of those bullcrap fart coins or whatever. It's not that. That is some advice I will give you. It is not that. And I'll take that to the bank. I'll argue that with anybody any day of the week.
Then we have Martin says, yeah, moon mining isn't that worth it. Asteroid mining is extremely valuable, but not viable. If moon rocks were that worth it, we would have focused on it after we landed in 69. Yeah, but the amount of moon rock should need, like, this, it's the actual soil. You're going to need tons and tons of it. You can't just bring the rocks back. You need to do it on the moon and then bring it back. The infrastructure is going to be absolutely insane. Look, you're saying why didn't they do it in 1969? I was looking, and the first nuclear power plant that was generating electricity wasn't brought out until 1954. So, look, in 69, were they going to then put nuclear power plants on the moon? I don't think the technology was there at that stage. I think, look, over the next 20, 30, 40 years, I do think it is a possibility. Any thoughts on that, Chris? I think you're muted.
Yes, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I can understand the thought process behind that. I know for a lot of people, space, everybody's thinking, "Oh, space is 20 years out." It's not. China's already working on this. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but China already has stuff on the dark side of the moon. If there's not money in mining, then why is China and the U.S. government developing and spending so much money to go out there and mine? It's capitalism. It's not just about who. It's not like in the '60s when we're trying to beat Russia and be the first person to the moon because of the arms race. It's way beyond that. It's about money. That's why they're doing it. They've been talking about mining on the moon for a long time. Now the technology is catching up. Now the possibilities and the ability, they're not. It's not 20 years out. It's not. It is not. It is not. I'll say it 100 times. It's not. Do the research on it. Please come back and tell me I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But everything I've looked at, everything that's going in that direction, they're doing it for a reason. They're going to be mining up there. They're looking at mining on asteroids. How complicated is that going to be? Why would they take the risk of doing that? Money, rare earth materials. We are going through fossil fuels at a rate that we cannot sustain as humanity. I'm worried about it. I've got a grandkid. We had to find another source of energy. We had to find other rare earth, minerals to continue our lifestyle and our way of life here on Earth. We're going to find that in space. Well, we've already found it. We had to find a way to mine it, and they're already working on that. If they weren't planning on mining on the moon, then why are there companies that are developing and designing and building um, machinery to put on the moon so they could actually mine? There are companies out there doing it right now. Not 5 years from now, they're already doing it. They're working on it. So I appreciate the comment, but I'm going to have to kindly disagree with you because unless you can give me a different reason why they're going up there and why they're putting so much money up there, I'm going to have to disagree with that. I think that mining is going to be the main reason why they're going up there. Yeah, there's going to be some science and stuff like that that us space geeks really get into. That's more of my lane. But it's about money. It's always going to be about money, and that's never going to stop. And it's already happening. It's not an if, it's just a when. And I don't think it's going to be 20, 30 years from now. I honestly don't.
I do think it is to do with the power generation problem. The amount of power consumption we have down here on Earth. Look, Elon has said himself, we're going at this exponential rate, and especially with the amount of machines, computers we have, we're burning the candles at both ends. Our energy consumption's going up, yet our fossil fuels are going down. Then I also have another theory that look, this moon mining, this is a proof of concept. As you go further out in the solar system, the likes of Mars, your solar power is not going to be half as strong. So solar power is not going to be an ideal solution. If you want to do deep space exploration, you're going to have to use nuclear power. What's the best, most safest, efficient way for nuclear power? It's going to be using helium-3. So again, look, if you're sitting out, you're going to have, I believe, if they want to expand humanity's presence in space, you're going to have the ability to have power generation.
Well, Liam, in 20 years, if we and the rate that we're going, the way we're burning through fossil fuels, in 20 years, if we don't have a viable alternative, we're going to have a lot bigger problems than we have right now. That's not a guess, that's a fact.
But that's like solar power, wind power. That's all good here on Earth. But okay, we go to Mars. Yeah, I believe you can use solar power, but it'd be less efficient than it is here on Earth. Then, say you want to explore Saturn's moons or you want to explore Jupiter's moons. The efficiency of this solar power is going down and down. Nuclear power is going to be the only way at the moment, I believe. Now, technology might develop. There might be better and better ways. But I do think helium-3 is going to play a part in it. And I think it fits into Peter Beck's philosophy of supplying space-based services. Bagger Holden says, rare earth minerals aren't really rare. It's not worth it. Maybe they can lasso a platinum asteroid or something. Rare earth minerals aren't really rare. I'm telling you, helium-3 is extremely rare. The reason helium-3 wasn't considered valuable in the past is because the technologies that can use it are just starting. Nuclear fusion and cryogenic quantum. That is common of the day, they're vast. Normally it's a funny one, that is common of the day.
Yeah.
First CNC says edge autonomy. And then Bag says they spent more money than they had on that company. Was also owned by the same private equity firm that started Redwire and owns the majority of it. They sold it to themselves and it was shady. I didn't see that. I know it was acquired for like 950 million. It was quite a big acquisition. Vaccine C says, I'm bearish on quantum because I don't think it has application outside of cryptography. But if crypto was cracked before they adapt, then it would shake up the world. WW says, oh, I already hold Rocket Lab. I'm just trying to time the correction to buy more. Probably foolish. Long term, I don't worry about the delay at all. No, do you know what? If you're happy enough with your position, yeah. Bag of Holden says the first few dozen tons of moon rocks would be valuable because of the novelty and rarity of them on Earth. Rich people would have chunks on their desks.
Bag of Holdens, let me just ask you really, just do me a favor, bro. Go and watch that video. And I'm not saying this guy knows everything about everything, but I will say that he has the credentials, he has the background, he knows what he's talking about. He's worked for multiple presidents, and he's been the head of a lot of these things before he got into the private sector. He wasn't going on there trying to boost his own personal company. He was talking about the future of the direction that the U.S. government is going and China is going when it comes to their spending and why they're spending it. I'm sorry, bro, but you are 100% wrong. They are already working on mining, and there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it, and it's about money. They would not be spending this money if they weren't going up there, if they didn't see a value in it. They've already done some testing. It's happening. Whether you agree with me, that's fine. It's okay. We can disagree all day long. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not trying to be a jerk, man, I promise. But I'm actually trying to get you to look into it. Don't take my word for it. Check out that video. Maybe it might give you some more insight and some more understanding of the reason why we're getting so passionate about it. Again, I didn't know about it until a day or two ago. So it's all new to me. We're still learning. I understand where you're coming from. I would have the same thought process if I didn't understand as much as I do now. Because I was like you. I was like, okay, we're going to mine. That's great. I didn't even care what we were mining. I just cared that we were going to be using Rocket Lab components to get us up there. And I was thinking, yay, Rocket Lab stock's going to go up because of that. Never asked why or what we were mining. That has to be the forefront of all of our questions now when it comes to why is the government spending that money to go up there? What are we racing? We're racing against China, like we did the space race with Russia. It's very similar, but it's for money. And yeah, rare earth materials, man, no offense, but that's the smartest comment I've heard in a long time. We are running out of fossil fuels. We are going to need to find an alternative resource. And even if it's one of those things that we're not making a crap ton of money on, even if we're breaking even, we still need it. We're going to need it. So I would encourage you to please check out that video, watch it 1 or 2 times, and then come back to us and tell us what you think. And maybe you see something in there we didn't. And that's exactly what we love having you guys in the comments. And we love having more people come on here because we can't do it all ourselves. We're not experts. We're not experts at all. But we do want to bring stuff to you guys that does show you a different side and does give you an opportunity to do the research yourself. And yeah, come back, and if I'm wrong, man, I promise you, I'll go live and go, hey, Bag of Holdings was right. I'm an idiot. I didn't know what I was talking about, but I got a feeling, man. I got a feeling on this one. It might be just the opposite. So always love having you on. Love the comments, but I got to disagree with you on this one, man. It's there. You just don't spend billions of dollars in doing something and hoping you're going to get a couple $100 back. They're not going to do it.
I think the reason myself and yourself are getting so passionate and triggered about this thing when we're getting pushback from it is because, look, we were speaking about haste and it being global. We've been speaking about space-based solar. We've been speaking about data centers in space. We've been speaking about mining. We've been speaking about power generation. We're now speaking about helium-free. But we always find places where it is already happening. And that's why I think we're just getting so frustrated at the moment. But I do respect everyone's comments. Look, we are here to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. Then, jumping back to it, helium-3 isn't a rare earth mineral. Rare earth minerals aren't rare, they're just hard to collect high concentrations and process. China has a monopoly. HE3...
That makes them rare, dude. Sorry, but that's what makes them rare. Come on, dude. You're contradicting yourself in your own comment, dude. No offense, man, but come on, dude. Are you just screwing? I think, Bag of Holding, you're just screwing with me at this point, man.
No, this is fast. This is fast CNC.
Oh, I think you're just screwing with me at this point, man. You guys are pulling my leg or something, man. Come on. That's funny.
HE3 is a wholly different thing. If we crack fusion, those place balloon. Completely agree with you, my guy. Helium-3 isn't considered a rare earth mineral, Bag of Holding says. Vass says, I'm agreeing with you, dude. They're very different. Bag of Holding says, I know about helium-3. I'm saying it's not worth mining rare earth materials. It's not even worth mining it in the USA. We have it. The Bag of Holding then says, I think the problem is you think helium-3 is a rare earth mineral. Look, I don't care what helium-3 is. I want RKLB to go up there and get it. All I know is it is rare. We need it. Let's go get that bad boy. Chris, there was another bit of news Francisco did share today. It was Mynaric have completed the Starrock process amid RKLB's acquisition deal. So looks like Mynaric is being tied up. The knots are being arranged there. We've had GEOST very recently. Mynaric getting tied up. Absolutely love it. There's just so much catalyst happening at the moment. It seems to be insane. Do you know another guy I've seen recently on X? It's a guy called Rocket Esla, and he seems to be sharing quite a good bit of information. So guys, do make sure to check him out. For the last time today, make sure to bang that subscribe button, hit the like button, because my name's Ian. I am one of the Hustle Brothers here. I have had quite a bit of fun today, considering we had a more or less 10% pullback. I feel like it's been quite a good stream, Chris. We've had a nice amount of people through. Look, guys, I didn't lie to you. You look at the amount of likes and look at the amount of people that watch the stream. It is literally 1:10.
Yeah, and I want to thank Bag of Holdings and Vast CNC. You guys, it's when you guys jump in here and you interact with us, you encourage us to go off and do our own research. And I promise you both right now, when I get off here, I'm going to look into everything you guys are saying, and I'm going to look at it with open eyes and clear vision, and maybe I'm going to find something that you guys know that I don't. And so ahead of time, thank you. And never take anything I say on here as an argument. And I know I get excited sometimes. I don't take it personal, please, because I really, honestly and truly welcome the comments. A lot of times I find that I'm wrong, and I find out that I'm wrong because of the guys like you, and you're willing to come on here and point these things out, and I love you for it. So guarantee you, I'm going to jump on as soon as we're off here. I'm going to do my research, and again, I'll be more than happy to come on here and correct myself. But please do me the same courtesy. Go watch that video and do some of the research, and maybe find out something and learn. And maybe you learn something more too, and it helps you become wiser, smarter, more intelligent investors moving forward. Again, that's what we're doing this for. It's not just for us. It's not just for you. It's for the entire investment community, especially for the newer investors. If you're new here and this is your first time here, this is how we do things. This is not your normal investment advice, channel that you find every day on YouTube. We try and have some fun. We have some laughs. We have a little debate from time to time. But the great thing is that we're not the pros. We're not the specialists. We have you guys in the comments for that. We want the corrections. We want to be told that we're wrong. That's what makes us better investors. So from the bottom of my heart, Bag of Holdings, VASCNC, you guys are great. Thank you so much for all that you provide to us, everything you include. And yes, I promise I'm going to jump right into that as soon as we're off here, guys. Thank you.
There's one guy I really want to discuss all of this helium-free with, and it's Scott O. Guys, do let me know in the comments after the stream, do you want Scott O to come on and discuss this with us? Also, in the comments, do let us know, do you believe in helium-free, or are we shooting down the wrong alley? Guys, until tomorrow, we'll see you then.
Thanks, everyone.